Hey guys, welcome back to Rocket Gyan, my fellow space tubers. Today we are again here to witness one of the Falcon 9 launches of the SpaceX. And this today's mission is a very special one because this is first of all first mission of the National Reconnaissance Office to be launched on Falcon 9 with the reused booster. Otherwise, Falcon 9, the NROL, actually, the National Reconnaissance Office actually prefers the new boosters. But today, this is the special one because it will be reusing using the reused booster. Okay, and that too not the first time means the this booster is being reused for the first time or so. Now this is being reused for fifth time, and yes. So if you don't know about SpaceX, SpaceX is a rocket company headed by Elon Musk. With this rocket, they are going to change everything. How we access space and the cost of space access and everything. So we are waiting for this, and obviously they have their human space flight program. The Crew 3 mission is about to come in Feb 2021, I think. And there are also three astronauts will go to the International Space Station, but we are right now waiting for these astronauts to come back. But they won't come back right away. I think they have a like 6 months stay onto the ISS. And yes, the Starship is like a revolutionary rocket. SpaceX, its company itself is a revolutionary one, and then the Starship, the rocket which they are developing and will change everything how we view space. I should say that. Talking about Falcon 9, today we SpaceX will be launching the Falcon 9 rocket, and it will be has total of 101 launches. So this will be the 102nd launch of the Falcon 9 with the, or you can say, 103rd launch, but 102 successful launches. 62 total landing, 44 reflown rockets, and today will be our mission to reflow the rocket again. It's a two-stage rocket. You can see here it's a two-stage rocket with the payload capacity of 2.8 tons, 22.8 tons to the low Earth orbit with its expendable configuration. And this is the first stage. This first stage has nine Merlin one-day engines, which you can see here. It has nine Merlin one-day engines. Produces a total thrust of 7,607 kilonewtons, and yes, the landing legs are always there to support the landing of this rocket, right? uh, Talking about the second stage, this is powered by one MVAC engine, or you can say the vacuum optimized Merlin engine, and uh, this Merlin engine has a very big nozzle, as you can see here, and that is necessary because we want to have as bigger nozzle as possible to have the most efficiency out of the rocket for the second stage, because there is no atmosphere. Okay, so the thrust is right 981 kilonewtons, and then the interstage is there. This interstage is has four grid fins, which is used to maneuver the rocket when we have the landing, during the landing, aerodynamic guidance, the payload. Okay, so today the payload will be the NROL 108 mission is what they say, and since it's an NROL mission, we don't exactly know how the payload looks like or what it is. And yeah, it's a spy satellite, that's what we know. Talking about the Merlin engine, it runs on gas generator power cycle and has RP1 and liquid oxygen as its fuel, as you can see here. And these Merlin engines were used on Falcon 1, Falcon 9, and Falcon Heavy. And this is the gas generator passing. This runs on a gas generator cycle. That's why we can see this mini rocket engine exhaust coming out of here. Then for the vacuum one, vacuum optimized, we have a bigger engine, but you can see we don't have that mini rocket kind of a engine here for the second stage. But because that exhaust is just being fed again to the combustion chamber, so as to cool the combustion chamber down, because those gases are a bit cooler than what actual gases are coming in the combustion chamber from the main feed line. Yeah. So this also runs on liquid oxygen and RP1 as its fuel. Okay. So hi Louis Smith, hi Jyoti Ranjan, hi Arsha, hi Christina, hi Candy Ford. Go SpaceX, thanks for streaming. India launch was great too. Sorry. Yes, Ken, thanks for being there and supporting. That's what we want, right? The support is the thing which I want to have and to for this channel to have. Yeah. Then now we can have a look at the mission profile. So today the mission profile is also very interesting because if you see this, we have a boost back burn and landing onto the land rather than the drone ship. So landing will be on landing zone 1 in Cape Canaveral if that's the launch site. Yeah. So you can see here they won't be landing it on the drone ship. So the mission profile will be liftoff will be there. Then there will be the ascent, the stage separation will be there. After the stage separation, the second stage will be there and going to the orbit with its actual mission. But for the first stage, it will perform a boost back burn here. This boost back burn will basically cancel all its horizontal velocity and point the trajectory back towards the launching site. And then afterwards, the grid fins will deploy, then there will be the entry burn. So this entry burn is used to slow down the rocket so as to reduce the re-entry effects. And also, it also proves to be like a wall when it coming, or you can say a shield when it comes down to protect the engine, because that gases which comes out of the rocket during the entry burn forms like a shield which protects the rocket. Yeah. Then we have the aerodynamic guidance, vertical landing, and the landing zone is there. So since this is a landing again back towards the launch site, it will be a very cool thing to watch. But the only thing is right now we are having a very foggy weather there and clouds are very dense there. Hopefully that does not cause a problem and we actually have a stream. So hi Aaron, the Space Explorer, how are you? We are right now T minus 21 minutes from the launch, and have they postponed it or what? Let me just see it. If they haven't, then in just 5 minutes or so we will be having the live stream. Let me just check the, and this will be the last launch of 2020. So I mean, wow, this launch is the last launch of the 2020 and we are go for the propelling load, and everything is looking nominal, and yes, they are targeting it. Seems like they are targeting it, but but the view which you see on the launch pad is very foggy weather there. So hopefully the only camera feeds which we are expecting today to work properly will be the onboard camera. The tracking camera will not work because of the fog and all. So yeah. Now yeah, so for this mission guys, a sec. Oh, are they live or what? Okay, so they are live. I'm also going live then. Okay. In wow. Just a sec guys. Cool. So guys, as you can see here, where the SpaceX will be live at any time, and now they are actually aiming for the launch today. And talking about some of the milestones for this mission, well, this mission has quite a bit of milestones. It will be the first USSF launch on a reused Falcon 9. That's what we know. And this will be the first USSF launch with no static fire. Yes, this thing had no static fire before the flight. I mean, wow. And the fifth Falcon 9, which does not have any static fire to be launched to the space. And what else? Do we have anything else? No, this is the fourth flight. Okay, so this is the fifth flight. Or what? Fourth flight, fifth flight. Just a sec. Okay, so the booster has supported 4 times. Yeah, the booster has supported 4 times, and this is the fifth flight. Its maiden flight was on the CRS-19 mission, which was launched in December 5, 2019. The second flight was CRS-20 mission on March 7, 2023, and fourth flight was of the Starlink and the SAOCOM 1B mission. So SAOCOM 1B mission also had this incredible landing trajectory. The boost back burn was there, and it will actually landed in onto the land. And now they are aiming for this fifth flight. I mean, wow, the SpaceX and its reusability is incredible. They are literally going and I just don't have any words for SpaceX, I should say that. For a private rocket company to achieve such a milestones with the human space flight, the Falcon 9, such a big rocket. Falcon 9 itself is a very big rocket, and then now they are aiming for Starship, and that too everything is being done by a private rocket company. Hats off to them. It's seriously hats off to them. And that's the thing. To have rocket launches. Ken says thanks for being our space commander for this year. I was really helpful to have rocket launches to look forward to. Thanks, Ken. I because of your support only this channel is surviving right now, and will be surviving if your support is there. Starship type flip, yes, it's looking like that. It will, because it will first cancel out its all horizontal velocity, so it will literally be pushed in a backward direction, and then canceling out horizontal velocity and then attaining the backward velocity will be a great task to achieve, since they have achieved so many times. So I don't believe there could be anything which can go wrong with this. Yeah, let's see how it goes then. um Okay, so yeah, so if you have any other question, guys, you can surely ask me and I'll try to answer them. We are right now T minus 15 minutes from the launch to begin, and yeah, they will be beginning their live stream now. Yeah.
Liftoff conditions looking pretty good.
STS is ready for launch.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Falcon 9 has cleared the tower.
Ten, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Intro is always a delight to watch. I mean, I must say that.
Good morning. It's Thursday, December 17th. And on your screen is a live view of Falcon 9 as it awaits its 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time launch from Pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. My name is Andy Tran, and I'm a production supervisor here at SpaceX. Today's launch, NROL-108, is for the National Reconnaissance Office, or NRO. The NRO is an intelligence community element and Department of Defense organization responsible for developing, acquiring, launching, and operating America's reconnaissance satellites, as well as operating associated data processing facilities in support of national security. These sophisticated systems are used to develop military targeting data, support international humanitarian relief operations, and assess the impact of natural disasters. This will be our second launch with NRO. The first was in 2017, and that launch.
Yes, Louis Smith, thank you so much for that support. I mean, she says a massive thank you for everything you have done this year, Rocket Gang. I look forward to many more streams
per the
Yes,
NRO's
Louis Smith,
request,
thank you
we
so
will
much for
not be
being
sharing
there
any
and
views
helping out.
of the
I
second stage
mean, this
today. We'll be
channel
ending
is
our
like
webcast a
now
little
just
early,
surviving
around the
because of you all.
T+8 minute mark,
Your
just
little,
after
little,
Falcon 9 touches back
or
down
you
onto
can
land.
say your super
If for
chats
some reason we
and
are not able
your
to launch
support.
today, we do have a
And
backup window
yeah, that's
tomorrow at the
what
same
is
time. So far,
making this channel
we are
survive,
at
because
T
sometimes what
minus
happen,
12
most of the
minutes
times
and
I should say,
48
the
seconds and
YouTube
counting.
does not
All
have
systems are
a good
cleared for launch and
record of
liftoff.
this
So
thing. I
let's
mean,
take a
I
closer look
always
at the
get
payload
something on the
and the
call
vehicle today.
yellow dollar, so I don't get any payment for this thing, but your super chats and all
What you're
makes
seeing
this
is a
channel
view
survive,
from
so thank you so
Florida's
much for
fifth
all
day of
that.
launch pad 39A, with Falcon 9 getting ready for launch. Our rocket stands at 230 feet, or 70 meters tall, and that's greater than the wingspan of a 747 aircraft. Falcon 9 has 2 stages and also uses 2 types of propellants, which we'll talk more about later on in the webcast. The bottom 2/3 of the vehicle is the first stage. It's designed to be reflown 10 or more times with minimal refurbishment in between flights. One way to spot a flight-proven booster is to look for that re-entry soot on the first stage. Today's flight will be the 5th flight for this particular first stage. Its first 2 flights supported the CRS 19 and 20 missions to the International Space Station. It flew again in June for our 9th Starlink mission, and most recently in August for the SAOCOM 1B mission. At the very bottom of the first stage, there are 9 Merlin engines that will get Falcon 9 off the ground and up to the thinner parts of the Earth's atmosphere. The 2 stages will then separate from one another. The second stage continues to orbit while the first stage makes its way back down to Earth for its landing attempt at landing zone 1, which is actually not too far off from where it will lift off. There it is on screen. If successful, this will be the 5th landing for the booster on today's mission. It will also mark the 70th successful recovery of a Falcon 9 first stage. As for the second stage, that's what you see on screen. It will ignite its single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine about 2.5 minutes into flight. It's this engine that will take the NROL-108 spacecraft to its intended orbit. And speaking of the satellite, it's currently safely enclosed inside the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which is that structure at the very top of the rocket and what you see on screen right now. This protects the satellites from aerodynamic heating, loads, and contamination during ascent. Once we reach the vacuum of space, we will jettison the fairing halves while the second stage continues to orbit. Both of the fairing halves today will be brand new. We'll also be attempting to recover them from water today using our recovery ships Mystery and Go Searcher.
Yeah, Go Searcher and Mystery.
One thing to notice is some unique artwork on the fairing. This was chosen by the NRO because gorillas are peaceful animals, but can be fierce when necessary, acting quickly to defend themselves and warn others at any sign of a threat. And like the gorilla, this mission is constantly vigilant and ready to defend its own, demonstrating the NRO's commitment to protecting the United States' warfighters, interests, and alliances. And finally, the large truss structure next to Falcon 9 is called the Transporter Erector, also known as the TE. Its job is to roll Falcon 9 out to the launch pad, raise it to a vertical launch position, and also route power, fluids, and communication to both the rocket and the satellite.
Exactly. Douglas says, I guess we have multiple space events this month. Change, Munition, Capsule, Hayabusa 2, Starship Test, PSLV, etc. Yes, December month has been such an adventurous for space nerds because of so many things happening. We had 2 extraterrestrial samples coming back towards the Earth in December month itself. So it's like a 2020 giving a farewell to the space community of all it had done in this year.
We
had
actually
a
do
very
have a
bad
2-hour and 15-minute window
this month is
that
proving
could
to be a
allow
very
us
good
to
year.
reload the ultra-cold liquid oxygen and make another launch attempt today, but this presumes that we understand whatever caused us to hold the count and can safely proceed with the recycle and launch. If we can't launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at the same time. Falcon 9 has also been loading propellants since the T-minus 35-minute mark, when we started loading both fuel and oxidizer into each of the stages. Our fuel is a refined form of kerosene known as rocket propellant 1. We also refer to it as RP1. Fuel is fully loaded on the second stage and will finish loading on the first stage around the T-minus 6-minute mark. As for oxidizer, we use super chilled liquid oxygen. We also refer to it as LOX. Typically, launch providers use LOX right near its boiling point of negative 297 degrees Fahrenheit. Here at SpaceX, we actually chill the liquid oxygen another 40 degrees colder, making it denser and lets us load more into the first and second stages. LOX is currently loading into both the first and second stages at the moment. We load it as late as possible to keep it from warming up and decreasing its performance. We're also finishing up helium loading. As the Merlin engine pumps pull RP1 and LOX out of the tanks, we need to fill this empty volume called the ullage. We use the helium stored in pressure vessels and expand it using heat from the Merlin engine gas generator's exhaust. In about 20 seconds, we'll have engine chilling beginning. This is where we allow a small amount of super chilled liquid oxygen to flow past the turbopump inlets, cooling them down to avoid thermal shocks when we light the Merlin engines at the T-minus 2 second mark. The spacecraft team also transitioned the NROL-108 payload to internal battery power around the T-minus 8 minute mark. We're currently working no issues, so no further actions are required before launch. As for the range, they are standing by to support today's mission and are currently green. For weather, it's cloudy on the East Coast, but we're still 70% favorable for an on-time liftoff today.
Wow.
That said, all systems continue to be go for an on-time liftoff of 9:45 a.m. Eastern time.
Exactly. So a problem is the cloud you are seeing, like it's looking like a bad weather, but cloud or a low cloud, a cumulus cloud condition does not bother SpaceX, and I think that's what it is today.
Intelligence community organization responsible for developing, launching, and operating America's signals, imagery, and communication satellites. Here's a closer look at the NRO and its capabilities.
RP1 load is closing out.
So LOX load is complete now.
2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Delta 4 Heavy.
We are the agency that made the impossible possible, protected the world, and brought technology to levels undreamt of.
Go ahead, go Centaur.
The race to space was a series of firsts, and we were there. We were the first to surveil our adversaries from the high ground of space, literally taking technology to new heights, watching our adversaries, guarding against the threat of nuclear war, and providing strategic advantage to our nation. We were the agency no one had heard of, because we worked in total secrecy. But we've stepped out of the shadows, and we are writing the next chapters of American space technology. We are the National Reconnaissance Office, the NRO, the world leader in our tradecraft, collecting top secret imagery and signals from space. Natural disasters threaten thousands of lives. Conflicts displace millions, and adversaries mount threats. We give advance warning, aid in the aftermath, protect our citizens, and safeguard the world. We are the only agency that develops these tools, partnering with the intelligence community, the military, and the best of private industry to drive innovation. We are the leader in space intelligence systems, the NRO. At the heart of it, our people who take satellites from idea to orbit, focusing talent and resources, developing, building, launching, operating sophisticated NRO systems that help us maintain global vigilance 24/7, 365. Small sats made possible by miniaturization, reducing costs and expanding possibilities. Large satellites with capabilities designed to answer our toughest national security questions. Pioneering achievements on the ground, where analysts bring it all together. How do we do it? By investing in the latest research and development, using augmentation, automation, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, employing acquisition strategies to encourage competition, enabling us to work with the industry's best and brightest, Like-minded people, committed to technology without limits. This is where careers rise to heights unimagined, where you can take your eyes and ears into space. We deliver, under budget and on schedule, meeting and exceeding expectations, to answer questions yet unasked. We develop new technologies every day and put them to use in record time in the high ground of space. No one can match us. The National Reconnaissance Office, the world leader in intelligence gathering. We are the NRO.
I mean, yeah, they are the thing which is managing all this thing.
We are just over 2 minutes until
So we are
liftoff.
2
Falcon 9
minutes,
is now moving into the final stages of the countdown. The vehicle remains in good health. About 2 minutes ago, the transporter erector began to retract away from Falcon 9, providing clearance for liftoff. In just a few seconds, liquid oxygen loading should finish loading on the second stage, and that'll wrap up propellant loading. At the T-minus 1 minute mark, Falcon 9 will be in startup. This means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers are now controlling the launch countdown. The range continues to be green for launch, and the weather still remains cloudy, but again, we are still 70% favorable for an on-time liftoff today. As a reminder, if we don't launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern.
So it's happening, guys. We are right now T-minus. Okay, so we have a hold, guys. We have a hold. And clock has. Let's see.
It does look like we have a hold to the launch countdown. Let's check in. We're going to check in with the team to see if we can get some more information on that. Give us a second.
So we do have a hold now, and we don't know because of what we are having a hold right now. I mean, could be a weather could be a big possibility here, because you can see the looks from the rocket only, like weather is not looking good, but as he said, it's like 70% favorable conditions. We don't know what could have gone wrong here. Ken, it's not your fault, but yeah. So let's hope everything is good with the rocket, that we don't have any problem with the rocket. If it's a problem with the weather, we'll see if they can recycle it at T-minus 15 minutes. If it's like right now it's holding at T-minus 1 minute and 53 seconds, it has not recycled to T-minus and 15 minutes. That means we do have some chances to launch this thing right now. Let's see what actually happened. If the clock would be like going it to a T-minus 15 minutes, that's a recycle clock, but mostly that means it's a scrub. But if they have a good launch window, and if they believe the weather, if it's an issue with the weather and they can pass that thing, so they continue with the countdown. Then we are just right now waiting for them to update us actually what went wrong. And why do we have a hold? Okay, so we have a recycle at T-minus 45 minutes. So we do, it looks like it's a recycle because of the weather. If it's at T-minus 45 minutes, that means
just checking in here. We
don't have a scrub today.
Waiting for the teams to debrief, and we will report back when we get more information. Again, we had a hold to the countdown at the T-minus 1 minute and 53 second mark. Again, we're just waiting for the team to debrief.
Okay, so as you can see, the clock has recycled to T-minus 45 minutes. That means they will now unload the propellant and then reload it, and that's very necessary. Since it's at T-minus 45 minutes, that means it's not a scrub. Also, they have a like 3-hour launch window, and they can aim for a later launch window if it's a issue with the weather. Hi Fatra. While talking about Douglas says while talking about the weather, it makes me remind of Soyuz launch vehicle, which is possible even in snowy weather. I mean, yeah, Soyuz as well as the PSLV launch vehicle. If you have joined me with the live stream of the PSLV launch vehicle, which happened in November, you would have seen that it was like raining heavily, and they launched the PSLV at that time. And yeah, wow. So, so I think I should update this thing right now here and for a hold a sec. Yes. So Center, if anyone has just joined in right now, so we had a hold at T minus 1 minute and 53 seconds or so, and we are just waiting for the confirmation as in what went wrong. But right now, as you can see, the clock has been recycled to T minus 45 minutes. That means they will right now unload the propellants from the Falcon 9 and then uh, reload them, and that is necessary because otherwise there could be excessive pressure buildup, and also if they will release the pressure, then they will have less fuel for the rocket.
SpaceX again. We have reset the clock to T minus 45 minutes. This doesn't necessarily mean that we will be recycling today, but we do have a launch window all the way until 12 p.m. Eastern. At this moment, we are still trying to understand exactly what happened, and so we're waiting for the team to debrief and gather more information. For now, we'll be sitting tight, and we'll try to update you as we get the information.
For sure. So as he said, that does not mean they can will there be a launch today or not. But as you heard, we have a good launch window. So right now the team is taking its time to refine the trajectory, because now they again have to refine that trajectory, update all the computers there, and see if the range is clear, everything is there. So yeah. So now they have to replan the trajectory and load it into the Falcon 9's computers. That's what I think it is going on. And if the weather was the issue, if there is a issue with the rocket, well, we can really have a scrub today. But yeah, Ken says it sounds like it was not the weather. I mean, yes. I mean, the host said that at T minus 45 minutes, if we have recycled, that does not mean we will go for today. But he said that it's a long window. We can see if we can do something. We really don't know what actually happened at T minus 1 minute and 53 seconds. Is there any major event at that time? I don't think so. I mean, the locks loading is only left, and the T minus 1 minute the startup goes on. I don't think so, but yeah, let's see what actually went wrong. Actually, if it would have been like a hold at T minus under a T minus 1 minute, then there could be surely could some means there could be a high possibility of something being wrong on the rocket, because then it's the vehicle is in startup, uh, and then the Falcon 9 is analyzing itself. So if it finds it's something, then we have a hold at that time. But get a hold at T minus 1 minute 53 seconds. So let's see what actually went wrong. We right now only can speculate. That's it. And talking about the launches, today we witnessed the PSLV launch of the ISRO, and I tried to, you can say, had a good animation with the launch. If you have seen that, then you must have seen that there was a good animation going on with the actual launch, because I believe that PSLV launch coverage means the ISRO's launch coverage is not that good. So I tried myself to improve the launch coverage. So yeah, those animation which went by side, and I'll refine all those things again and I'm trying to planning to do all those things for other rocket launches also. So if tell me the give me the feedback, did you like it or not, and what improvements can I make? I can mess up with the sync actual, but actual sync of the events like that happens, but yeah, I'll try to refine it more. Right now I'm just planning for ISRO, but maybe expand for other rocket launches also. Thanks. Okay, thanks, Anto. I'll see if I can have a more refined one. I'll surely have a more refined one in the next launch. Uh, I'll see what I can do. Akshay says the Delta 4 Heavy launch was Delta 4 Heavy was launched after delay of 5 months. I mean, yes, was the thing because they had so many launch opportunity. It was not like they had a launch window after 5 months or they were not able to figure out what went wrong. There are so many launch opportunities, but it was sometimes it was weather, sometimes, and most of the time it was ground supporting equipment which didn't support it, which actually means that. All the ground supporting things onto with the launch pad is aging now. These launch pads of this California launch pad was there. I don't remember, but these launch pad was made in the Apollo era, and right now it is also serving. So those technologies or those things needs to be like improved there. So yeah. Then Ken says, you are doing good. Your site improves every time I see it. Thanks, Ken. And I'll see what I can do. I am trying to do something and all those things. Because all the things which are happening is because of your support only. That give me the inspiration. That give me something to go about. YouTube though does not help me. Don't know why, but your super chats and all surely helps me. So this hold could be due to upper atmospheric winds. Well, could be one of the reason, but we know one thing that the cloud condition which you are right now seeing, if if this thing is for the low accumulus cloud condition, then the SpaceX can manage that. That's not the problem. If so, yeah, if that is the case, then SpaceX can manage it. But right now, we have to like see what team is gathering information about and how well it will go. Okay, that's a good information. Rick Manley says much of the weather launch criteria set by USAF Eastern Range safety hubs, and they need a visual track for a certain period after launch. I mean, okay, so that could be one of the reason. I mean, could be one of the reason, but we don't know yet. And but I got the information today, so this thing I didn't know about. So thanks for informing. And this thing has gone into my mind now. Yes, Nevspen. I mean, amazing. He says amazing job this year, Rocket Gang. You must miss a lot of sleep, and thanks for spending so much time streaming as much as you do. Yes.
It's looking like we are going to try to recycle today. Now, keep in mind the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch potential issues prior to flight. Overall, the vehicle and payload appears to be in good health. The new T0 is still to be determined, but we do have a launch window that ends at 12 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay, so that's an update which actually tells us that the vehicle is in good condition. That means there could be a issue with the range or the weather. So now they are trying to recycle it. So that's a good thing. And he was saying the Nepspen was saying amazing job this year, Rocket Gun. You must miss a lot of sleep, and thanks for spending so much time streaming as much as you do. Yes, I have actually missed a lot of sleeps because all the rocket launches, most of the rocket launches from the US, Russia and France, I mean, most of them happens at around 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. here, and at till that time I really like stay awake to have that streamed for you guys. And yeah, and sometimes I have to wake up really very early, like in 5 a.m., 6 a.m. That's and I'm telling you, I'm a night person. I don't like, I hate waking up in the morning. And yeah, but for this I wake up. I don't know how, but I wake up for this, for the streams. So it couldn't be possible without your support. And yes, that's what I have to say. Your I am again saying your super chats are only working for this channel right now, nothing else. So Vina says delay of 45 minutes. Well, we don't know the countdown clock. We have T minus 45 minutes till now, and we don't know how much could be the delay. But the launch window is till 12 p.m. EST. That means like how much more time do we have? What does that check? That means at 10 p almost. Okay, 2 hour launch window is still left. 2 hour launch window is still left, so we can be hopeful for this thing to launch today. It will be so good. Okay, so ISRO has released one footage of today's launch. That's an onboard camera view. Will it be a good thing to have us see? Let's see.
The team is still trying to determine if we are going to recycle today and attempt another launch attempt. Again, keep in mind that the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch these types of issues prior to flight. Overall, again, the vehicle and payload appear to be in good health. T0 is not yet determined, but again, we do have a launch window that ends at 12 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. Arsha says thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your support. Akshay Sanek, thanks Rocket. Yeah, I mean they started the engine and it flamed off. I mean, you're kidding? Are you kidding me? No, 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 no. They haven't started the engines. At T minus 1 minute and 53 seconds, they had a hold, so they haven't started the engines till now. Yes, pinpoint accuracy with the ISRO's launch, that's always happened. And with the, I really believe that SSLV will also be, still Starship is in development. Starship though is a revolutionary rocket. Okay, I can say that for sure. But when, if the Starship is in still development phase, and that till that time when SSLV will be in functional, and it will be launching the small sats to the space, that will be a revolutionary turnaround. And because SSLV, like the cost of the launch for the SSLV is only 30 crores rupees. So if I convert that dollars, what would be, what would it be? A sec. Just $4 million. Okay, just $4 million per launch. SSLV will be launching with just $4 million, and with that, it will be a revolutionary rocket, because for the small set market, right now, Rocket Labs it costs around $10 million, and the payload capacity is kind of same only for the SSLV and the Rocket Lab. Yeah, and you can say preparation time for the for that SSLV will be only 6 days to 7 days. And in 6 to 7 days, they can do anything, and they can develop. Development will obviously take time, but assembly and preparation will take only 7 days.
If you're just joining us, we did have a hold at T minus 1 minute and 53 seconds. We reset the countdown to T minus 45 minutes. At this point, the vehicle and payload both appear to be in good health. We are waiting on a decision on whether or not we will be making another recycle attempt and launch today. Our window ends at 12 p.m. Eastern time. If we don't launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at the same time.
Okay. Still planning of what is going on with the rocket. We're talking about the Delta IV Heavy. Oh yeah, the Delta IV Heavy, actually yes, they started the engine. Actually, it flamed off. I mean, starting the rocket engine is not like it can happen in just a blink of eyes. Starting a rocket engine usually takes some time to start. I mean, the this the Delta IV Heavy takes usually 3 seconds for the engine to come at full thrust, because the turbopumps needs and those things runs on gas generator cycle, so they need some time to run at full thrust. I mean, the turbopumps need some time to rotate, and that's why those things takes time for the rotation. So if in those 3 seconds or so something goes wrong, and if it has not come into a full thrust, then yeah, the engine or the rocket can safely abort, and yes, it flames, but then it does not lift off. So Rick says if the vehicle and payload are healthy, then there are two other possibilities for the whole ground support equipment problem or the weather. Yes, uh, I don't think it would be a problem with the GSE, because if it's a problem with the GSE, I don't think so they will be able to continue with the launch. But yes, they do have a launch window, and they have like 2 hours for so. So yeah, yes, there can be some problem with the GSE, but GSE could be a problem, weather could be a problem, as well as the range could also be a problem, can also have also been a problem. We don't know if any boat or any airplane has come. They don't know yet. Yes, Akshay, that's a fireball thing which you are talking about, and that's fireball is. I have actually made a video on this thing explaining the ignition sequence of Delta IV Heavy. You can check out my channel for that, and that's a most detailed video I did, and I also learned a lot about from that. So you can always check it out for more info about the Delta IV Heavy ignition sequence. Yes, microphone fund is not far away, and I really need to improve the audio quality, because that's what I'm doing. And the thing is, my audio quality actually sounds very terrible, because we do have a comparison with their audio quality. I mean, the actual streaming people, they have a very high quality microphone, and when I speak in front of them, it sounds really terrible. I have listened to my own voice, that's why I'm
Hey,
saying.
just another quick update from myself. The team is still trying to determine whether or not we'll be able to recycle today. The vehicle and payload are in good condition. We're still trying to figure out the next T0. We do have until 12 p.m. Eastern time today, but and fingers crossed that we can recycle today and launch. If not, we do have a good shot tomorrow to send this NROL-108 satellite into orbit.
I mean, yeah, good. It's good that they are giving updates like this, but it would be great if they have given some new updates. I mean, yeah. When it will be launched, we don't know, Arpita. It's still, as he said, the T-0 is still unknown. So we are just waiting for the T-0 to be established, and the trajectory plan, everything established and done. Yeah, that could be the case. The US, since it's a mission of USAF, so they can very well interfere in between the trajectory planning and everything. So that's why I think it's taking time also, maybe. Now what should we do? We don't even know. We know that it will take at least 45 minutes from now, but till then, what should we do for this thing? Oh man, the big news. Thanks for subscribing. Whoever says subscribe cheat camp or what is happening now actually, if you have guys, if you have just joined in, oh, look at the follower has totally messed up there up. Okay, so if you have just joined in, we were having a successful countdown, but at around t minus 1 minutes and 53 seconds, we had a hold on the lift countdown, and then they recycled the countdown to t minus 45 minutes. They do have a launch window of around 2 hours from now, and we still don't know what was the cause of the hold. But they have mentioned that the payload and the vehicle is in good health. That means that was not a rocket issue. Maybe a GSE range or weather could be one of the things. So now they are planning and they are doing and they are looking for a new T minus zero. And once they have it, then they will recycle the thing. I think now the propellant unloading of the propellant must have been done. I think so. The vehicle would be in safe mode right now, and then after that, again the propellant loading will start. Propellant loading. Thanks, Akshay. That's a very good compliment. But we actually, I also want you also to listen to what they are saying. The ISRO's commentary, the guy who speaks in Hindi, I mean, wow, that's a very, that's a very great guy they have employed there with such a perfect Hindi and a complex Hindi. I should say that. Oh, is it? SpaceX, Octagrabber says SpaceX Falcon 9 auto abort called at T minus 1 minute 53 seconds due to a second stage sensor reading. Oh, is it? It was a problem with the rocket? Says it was in good health. Let me just confirm this thing. Yes, they have tweeted this thing. It was an auto abort called at T minus 153 due to a second stage. Thanks, Octagrabber, for informing us. And okay, so that means that now there is a possibility that they don't launch today. There was some issue with the sensor reading of the second stage. I mean, the sensor reading of the second stage. Now, if we speculate what can happen.
If you're just joining us,
Okay.
this is the NROL-108 mission. We did have a hold to the countdown at the T minus 1 minute and 53 second mark. At this moment, the team is trying to figure out if we can recycle and make another launch attempt in today's window. The window today ends around 12 p.m. at 12 p.m. Eastern time. If we can't recycle today, we do have a backup launch opportunity tomorrow. At this point, the vehicle and the payload are in good health, and I'll be giving you periodic updates. We should have more information in about 20 minutes, so I'll keep you guys updated, so stay tuned.
Okay, so yes, I was saying, since there was an issue with, now we know that what was wrong with the countdown and what went wrong. Okay, there we go. Venting is happening. I think something is happening here. Is it detanking or what? The second stage fuming is there. I think, yeah, detanking is happening and separation of something is happening. Okay, so we'll get to know what is happening right now. But I was saying the sensor reading of the second stage, that could mean that very well mean that we can have an abort for, or you can say scrub for today, not abort, scrub for today. But if they can figure out what went wrong with the sensor reading, or was it a very harmful sensor reading, or it could be managed, it was just a backup computer or something like a backup thing, and then yeah, they can go on with the launch. Space race, I don't know. Space 2 race, I haven't seen that. I'll see that if I can. But right now, if I'm not wrong, those thing which we saw was the vents of the pipeline which goes to the rocket. I'm not sure about it. I have seen so many these kind of scrubs, but I don't remember right now what was the issue with this thing. But as we know, the thing is the loading and unloading of the propellants will be off LOX and not RP1, because RP1 does not require cryogenic temperature. Although SpaceX does chill it, but RP1 does not boil off and does not create an excess pressure inside the tank, and hence they don't need to reload the pressure, reload those RP1 to the tanks. Hence, they will just be looking in for the reload of the locks now. I haven't seen that. I'll surely see that if it's a good one. I mean, the space race in 1970s. That's what the documentary is all about, right? Yeah, I'll see that. Although I know about the space race and what actually happened, I have seen many documentaries. I'll see what I can do.
Hey again, it's Andy from SpaceX. Just giving you guys another update. We are still trying to deliberate if we are going to make a recycle and launch attempt in today's launch window, which ends at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, if we can't launch today, we do have another opportunity tomorrow, which is another good chance to launch the NROL-108 satellite. We'll continue to update you as we get more information, so stay tuned, and we'll update you as soon as we can.
Okay, as we got to know, still in the process of planning and seeing what was the issue with the rocket. Okay. It's not a scrub iron, the Space Explorer. It's just a hold right now, and team is planning to recycle the countdown clock. And do you know this countdown clock? Why do we need one countdown clock? I mean, it's not a very dramatic kind of a thing to have a countdown clock. It's a necessary thing to have a countdown clock, because they have to check tons of things before a launch to happen. There are so many things for a rocket launch to go right, first of all. So that's why they have so many checklists. So this countdown clock helps the team to check everything with the procedure and with the, you can say, strict procedure, and with the, you can say what, I mean, yeah, the strict procedure is the thing. Yeah. So like in T-1 hour, this thing should have been checked, and T-1 hours, this minutes, this thing should be checked. So this works like that. So that's why we have a countdown clock to have the checkpoints. Yeah, the checkpoints are there at a certain intervals of time, and those checkpoints are ensured by this countdown clock. I think now we are just waiting for them to let us know what will they be doing now. And if you have questions, you can ask. Otherwise, you can just listen to the ambient sound which the Falcon 9 makes. This is how the Falcon 9 breathes. So you can listen on to that then.
As you can see, we have held the countdown. We held it at the T-1 minute and 53 second mark and reset it to the T-minus 45 minute mark. The vehicle and payload are in good health. The team's right now trying to understand what exactly caused the hold and determine if we can recycle and attempt launch again later today. If we are unable to launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow at the same time. We should have a better update on whether or not we will be able to launch in about 15 to 20 minutes. Until then, I'll be periodically updating you about the vehicle and how we're doing.
So there we had this thing like just mentioned, we like have to wait for 10 to 15 minutes more if they are going in for the launch or not. We'll get to know that. So did payload Bharat Sumant, the payload is a NROL satellite, and that's a spy satellite, you can say, and that's a classified thing, so we don't know much about it. Yes, it was successful. The Chang'e 5 was successful in every aspect of this, and it was 100% successful. Everything which they thought, they achieved it. And now we just want to know what was the amount of sample they got, and how will they be distributing and sharing the samples to the world, as well as what science do we get out of those samples. Problem was with the second stage reading. Some problem with the second stage reading. Okay, listening to the ambient sound of the Falcon 9, and let's see what is the next update now.
If you're just joining us for the NROL-108 webcast, the team is still trying to determine if we're going to be able to recycle and attempt to launch again. The vehicle and payload are in good health, so you don't have to worry there. The new T0 is still trying to be determined, but we do have a launch window that ends at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, if we can't launch today, we do have another opportunity tomorrow around the same time. We'll periodically update you as information becomes available. Hang tight, and the vehicle is definitely in good health, and payload is also in good health.
Okay, that contradicts what was tweeted. I mean, they said there was a problem with the second stage reading. Could be that simply means if he's so uh, saying it so confidently that the vehicle is in good health, that reading could be mean of something of the backup kind of a thing, or could be manageable. The reading can sometimes be off, but after doing a reset kind of a thing, you can say, like switching, if our phone gets hang or if our computer gets hang, we just switch that off and then restart it. That can work with the rockets also, right? So yeah, so that's a good thing to hear, that the vehicle is in good health. Now we are looking for a new T0. That's what we know till now. Ah, thanks Octagrabber for again providing us that info. Elon Musk says that the pressure is slightly high in the upper stage liquid oxygen tank. The review is in underway. Okay, so that was the thing. So we don't have any issue with the backup thing. So yeah, the sensor reading was right. So now they are since now they actually, if the pressure is high now, now they have to see if they can launch with the high pressure also. I mean, if yeah, obviously they will try to reduce the pressure, maybe program the bleeding tanks to have more performance, or how, what is the strength of those oxygen tanks to take the pressure. And that's what they are trying to review right now, if that's the thing. I think so, that what they're trying to review. But if the pressure, if they that simply means they could be a big scrub also. Since there is a problem with the rocket, and yeah,
As you can see, we have held the countdown for the NROL-108 mission. The team is right now trying to determine if we can recycle and relaunch today. We haven't determined a new T0 yet, but both the vehicle and payload are healthy. If we can't launch today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow. We should have more information in the next 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll try to update you as soon as we can.
I mean, why why is he insisting that the vehicle is in good health? Okay, if he is, that means it could be. Let's see what actually is happening now. Elon actually tweeted that the pressure is slightly high in the upper stage. Yes, he tweeted, and we see if they can do something.
If you're just joining us for the NROL-108 webcast, we are currently holding the countdown. During the countdown, pressure was slightly high in the upper stage liquid oxygen tank, which caused the abort. Now keep in mind, the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch these potential issues prior to flight. The vehicle and payload are in good health. Right now, the teams are evaluating whether or not we'll be able to recycle the launch attempt today. We should have a better idea of whether or not we'll be able to recycle today in the next 20 or 30 minutes. Again, if we are not able to attempt another launch today, we do have another launch opportunity tomorrow for the same time frame. Thank you for hanging in there with us, but this is the nature of the launch business, so sit back and stick with us.
He's doing a really good job. I should add, of updating us whether and saying the same thing in a different way every time he comes. Otherwise, the stream becomes kind of boring to watch, right? Yeah. But right now we got the update that there was a slightly high pressure, but team is looking for it, and previously said 10 to 20 more minutes to look, so now 20 to 30 more minutes to look before we get any update about whether we will be having a launch or not. So if you're just joining in, at T-minus 1 minute and 53 seconds there was a hold in the countdown. We initially didn't know what was the cause of the hold, but then now we know there was a slightly different reading in this upper stage the upper stage pressure tank. The liquid oxygen tank had a slightly higher pressure, and now the team is reviewing, and if they can go for the launch and plan the trajectory, light the candle, and let this beauty fly. So you right now just enjoy the ambient sound. That's what we can say right now. Yeah, otherwise I would love to have a good talk with you, but I mean, when you have very less viewers now, then the streams also is not very interactive, because it's a natural thing. People, when we have a larger audience to which are actually seeing this thing, then becomes really interactive. But it's okay, see what we can do. We just right now just enjoy this ambient sound of how the Falcon 9 breathes, and wait for the update from them.
Welcome back to the NROL-108 webcast. We are currently holding the countdown. We had an abort at T-minus 1 minute and 53 seconds and reset it to T-minus 45 minutes. During the countdown, pressure was slightly high in the upper stage liquid oxygen tanks, which caused the abort. We do these types of checks to make sure we catch any and all potential issues prior to flight. Both the vehicle and the payload are continuing to be in good health. The team right now is evaluating whether or not we'll be able to make another launch attempt today. We should have a better idea of that in the next 15 to 25 minutes. If we can't launch today, we do have another backup opportunity tomorrow in the same time frame. Again, thanks for sticking with us for everyone that is tuned in right now, and we'll update you as soon as we can. Thanks for continuing to join us for the NROL-108 webcast. We are currently in the middle of a hold on the countdown. What you're seeing on screen is a view of Falcon 9 sitting on pad 39A in Florida. During the countdown, we saw some slightly higher pressure readings from the second stage LOX tank, which caused the hold to the countdown. Now, keep in mind, we do try to catch these potential issues during the countdown prior to flight to make sure that we are absolutely spot on for a successful liftoff. The vehicle and payload are in good health. The teams right now are determining if we are able to recycle and make another launch attempt today. We should have a better idea of whether or not we'll be able to do this in the next 20 or 10 to 20 minutes. If we're unable to launch today, we do have another opportunity tomorrow, Friday, in the same time frame. Thanks for sticking with us, and I'll give you an update in a few more minutes. Hey again, just checking in with everyone. This is the NROL-108 launch webcast. During the countdown, pressure was slightly high in the upper stage liquid oxygen tank, which caused a hold to the countdown. Again, the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch these types of potential issues. Both Falcon 9 and the payload are in good health. The team is still evaluating whether or not we'll be able to recycle and attempt another launch today. Our window ends at 12 p.m. Eastern. So we should have more information in the next 10 to 15 minutes. If we can't launch today, we do have another opportunity tomorrow in the same time frame. Again, thanks for hanging in there with us, and sit back and we'll update you as soon as we can.
The LD on countdown.net, we are going to stand down on a recycle attempt today. Launch control, you're good to abort recycle launch at this time. We will be setting up for a 24-hour recycle.
There we have it, guys. It's a scrub for today. And we waited for so long, and this is a scrub. But that gives us another opportunity to hang around tomorrow. Okay, again tomorrow we will be having 2 streams for the launch. Tomorrow, since it's a scrub for today, this thing, tomorrow we'll be having a Soyuz launch of OneWeb satellites. I'll be streaming that, and then we have the Falcon 9 launch. So tomorrow also will be a very hectic day. These 2-3 days is becoming a really hectic day, but yeah, I'll do what I can and I'll try to stream all those things. So yeah, the scrub for today, and I don't think so it will be a good idea to keep on streaming now. LD has
If you've been following along, we had an abort on the countdown at the T-minus 1 minute and 53 second mark. At that time, sensors detected slightly high pressures in the upper stage liquid oxygen tanks, which caused the abort. Now keep in mind, the purpose of the countdown is to help us catch potential issues prior to flight. There are 1,000 ways launch can go wrong and only one way it can go right. And given that, we are overly cautious on the ground, and if the team or vehicle sees anything that looks even slightly off, they'll stop the countdown. The vehicle and the payload are in good health. The team gave it their best effort to recycle within the remaining launch window, but it just wasn't in the cards for us today. Again, the vehicle and the payload are in good health, but this will end our launch attempt for today. The next earliest launch opportunity is tomorrow, Friday, December 18th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. As always, thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you on the next attempt tomorrow.
So guys, Resicule, if that's your name, so we will be having a 24-hour recycle time. So at tomorrow, again at the same time which we had the launch for scheduled for today, that will be the timing. So tomorrow the launches will be back to back. I mean, I have my own work also, and it will become tomorrow is a very hectic day for me, I am telling you. So yeah. So let's meet up tomorrow again for the Soyuz as well as for the SpaceX launch. Until then, this is Priyanshu Roila. You just saw Rocket Gyan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and bye bye.